Have you ever seen a squirrel with the strength of 1,000 squirrels? Have you ever espied a raccoon with the swordsmanship of a medieval knight? I doubt you've encountered an oak tree that could walk on its roots to make love to its willow mate. These were just a few examples of the strange happenings in the South Forest, a once glorious and friendly haven to explorers. It had been only until very recently as glorious and friendly. Then, strange happenings arose. Lucas Maxwell, a rookie supernatural investigator, rummaged through the odd forest for a sign of supernatural activity. On his hand was a leash, restraining his impish, feral, yet somewhat human partner, Pichai, whom Maxwell uses as a bloodhound to pursue the spirits, and whom at childhood the agency had adopted from an orphanage and coexisting world. A world of freaks and supernatural activity. Maxwell, despite the phone calls of distress to his agency, noticed nothing wrong with the denounced landscape he investigated. It just looked like a forest to me. Desolate, quiet, the sun shone through the trees. What could possibly suggest harm in a place like this? Sometimes, what you can't see is more to fear than what you can. For hours he looked up and down, near and far, behind things, above things, leaving no stone unturned. And alas, there was nothing. Odd, the PI thought. How could activity so frightening and usually conspicuous be so difficult to find? He turned to his impish companion and asked how the forest was so sincere. Pichai, that little bugger, responded, saying it's his own infernal presence acting as a repellent to the apparitional beings, and that he said in the most playful and inoffensive tone. And Pichai, being the unearthly and diabolical being he is, was the only other validation Maxwell needed to confirm the imp's statement. Maxwell sighed in a slightly irked manner. He asked the imp why he had waited hours to finally tell him the reason for the supernatural inactivity. Pichai's response was simply, "You hadn't asked," and he smirked merrily at Maxwell. Wow, what a little bloody troll. Maxwell closed his eyes. He took a moment to muster up his concentration. He relaxed his mind, loosening the agonizing tension in his brain. Maxwell, being accustomed to the immense stress as the workaholic he is, would usually perform this kind of meditation with the image, or rather, mental simulation of his solitude in a desolate forest. Needless to say, Maxwell required surroundings, breathing deeply in and out while Pichai was tugging on his leash, frantic to run away and explore. What the bloody hell was he doing? When Maxwell opened his eyes, he took one more deep breath and returned to the deep refuge in his mind. With a smirk, he asked his partner if he would be able to find anything uncanny. And so, the pursuit commenced.